Resuming debate, l'honourable député.
The honourable member for Abitibi-Temiskaming.
Monsieur le Président.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in the House today to support the mission and Canada's participation in it. I join with those who believe this mission is justified and should be extended because of what Muammar Gadhafi has done to the Libyan population. The sad truth is that in Libya, the victims of Colonel Gadhafi are civilians. The civilian population in Libya is not just the object of collateral damage between two factions here. It's directly targeted by Gadhafi and his armed forces. These conclusions do not come from some marginal sources. They come from organizations like the UN Human Rights Commission, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, and the International Criminal Court. The Council for the International Criminal Court found that Gadhafi had personally ordered attacks on unarmed civilians and that he authorized the use of planes to attack demonstrators. They also found that his troops had attacked civilians in their homes and in public places, that he had also posted snipers outside mosques to pick people off as they came out of prayer. He also ordered troops to fire on funeral processions. And the evidence comes not just from this source. A mission of the UN Human Rights Commission in Tripoli found that Gadhafi's troops had attacked civilians, workers, and caregivers. Human Rights Watch has documented serious violations of war laws by Libyan forces, including indiscriminate attacks on residential areas in Misrata and in mountainous regions. Amnesty International has also overwhelming, damning evidence of the use of lethal force against demonstrators, peaceful demonstrators, who were directly targeted. All of this evidence clearly shows that Gadhafi's actions are illegal and could be punished as war crimes. These acts of violence against civilians justifies the international community's intervention. Because if history has taught us that it's necessary to take action in this type of situation, it's essential to intervene here. Many colleagues have told me about their experiences in war-torn countries, be it Rwanda, Yugoslavia, or elsewhere. They talked about disgraceful situations that no child should ever experience. Quick passage of Resolution 1973 and the rapid deployment of international forces to implement a no-fly zone should be saluted. History teaches that it's also essential to have a clearly defined mandate. That's why it's essential to clearly define the mandate given our troops and to determine specific timelines. It's essential to target intervention toward clearly defined goals, those of the UN. We need to put an end to attacks against civilian populations. Military and paramilitary forces in Libya should go back to their bases, and humanitarian aid should be made available to all who need it.
The International Criminal Court, ICC, have investigated and drawn conclusion the following allegation of war crime. The evidence showed that Muammar Gadhafi personally ordered attack on unarmed Libyan civilians, including the use of aircraft to attack protesters. His force attacked Libyan civilians in their home and in the public space, repressed demonstrations with live ammunition, use heavy artillery against participants in funeral procession, and place snipers to kill those leaving mosque after the prayer. Gadhafi force prepare lists with names of alleged dissidents. They are being harassed, put into prison in Tripoli, tortured, and made to disappear. UN Human Rights Council mission to Tripoli and rebel-held area in late April found evidence of war crime by Gadhafi force, including attack on civilian, aid workers, and medical units. Aircraft, tanks, artillery, Grad rocket sniper were used. It also found some evidence of crimes by opposition force, including the arbitrary detention and torture of suspect Gadhafi supporters. The Commission did not find evidence that the opposition armed force were part of any widespread of or systematic attack against a civilian population. Human rights has documented serious violation of the law of war by Libyan government force, including repeated indiscriminate attack in two residential neighbors in Misrata and town in the western Nafusa mountain. Amnesty International has also found clear evidence of the use of lethal force against protesters in February, and more worrying still, that in many cases protesters who posed no threat were deliberately killed. The International Criminal Court is also now investigating allegations that Gadhafi ordered his troops to commit systematic rape of women in rebel-held area. Based on information that Gadhafi himself authorized the rape and provides drugs to enhance the ability of his force to rape women. Due to the social stigma associated with reporting rape and the displacement of civilians, it is difficult to know how widespread the use of rape as a weapon of war is, but the ICC have received information that there are several hundred victims in some areas. Lorsqu'on parle d'aide en matière.
When it comes to humanitarian assistance, the situation in Libya is alarming. Estimates are that between 10 and 15,000 people have been killed in the past 4 months of combat. About 500,000 civilians have been forced out of their homes and have fled the country since the crisis began. Furthermore, about 130,000 people in Libya have had to seek shelter outside of their homes, but within the borders. These people have to live with limited means, with a shortage of food and drinking water. And they have almost no access to medications, and they can't go anywhere because there's a shortage of fuel. The situation is all the more serious at the border with Tunisia, where authorities are having trouble processing the thousands of Libyan refugees trying to flee the country. The UN estimates that $3.6 million may need humanitarian assistance. 3.6 million people. And this is where our government can and should do more. So far, only half of the calls for assistance from the UN have been met with agreement from donor countries.
Talk about people have been killed. We estimate that 10,000 to 15,000 people have been killed on both sides in 4 months in fighting in Libya. Almost 500,000 people had left the country since the crisis began, while about 330,000 people have been internally displaced. It is estimated by the UN that at least 1,000 people, mainly men, have been kidnapped or disappeared in Misrata since the conflicts began in February. The UN Refugee Agency reports tens of thousands of people on both sides of the battle lines in Libya are facing critical shortage of essential essential goods including food, medicine, and fuel. The situation on Tunisian border is increasingly strained as Tunisian authorities struggle to absorb the tens of thousands of Libyans fleeing the conflict. Under the United Nations worst-case scenario, as many 3.6 million people in the country could eventually require humanitarian assistance. So it's why I think that we have to support all those people. I think that we need to be there to support all these women, all this, and all the people living in Libya. Je veux dire que bon.
I'd like to say that there are probably people, Canadians of Libyan origin, and I sincerely believe that they would be proud that we're supporting them, and I wouldn't want to have to announce to any of those people that their families who remained in Libya had been killed or raped. And so I think we have to support them out of respect for humanity's right to live in safety in their homes.
The honourable member, there will be 10 minutes remaining for questions and comments when the House continues the debate on this question. Déclaration des députés.